first half. So we're going to deal with binomials that are squared, and all we're doing today is multiplying. It's very nice what we're doing today, multiplying. So let me give you a problem that looks like it's in this format. We'll start with x plus 3 squared. Okay, before I start working this out, what does x plus 3 squared mean? You got to be careful with this because the most common thing is not correct. Nick?
Well, picturing it, there's 2 x plus 3.
Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. It means x plus 3 times x plus 3. Now, what a lot of people say, and thankfully Nick did not say this, isn't that just x squared plus 9? And the answer to that is no. It is more than that, and you're going to see here. Okay, 2 binomials being multiplied. Do you remember we have 4 ways of figuring that out? Tabular method, vertical method, distributive property, and FOIL. I want you to use FOIL to get this product. Go ahead and do that. Get the product of x plus 3 times x plus 3. You can use distributive or FOIL. They're really the same thing, but FOIL is nice because we can all relate to what steps we're doing at what time. Okay, so because this is kind of reviewing, John, what are the first terms multiplied going to get me? X squared. X times x is x squared. The outer terms, Caroline, what are the outer terms going to be?
3x.
Positive 3x. Okay, the inner terms, Sarah, going to get me?
3x.
3x again. Oh, that's amazing. And then what are the last terms going to get me, Betsy?
9.
Positive 9. So if you said at the beginning, or you thought, you're like, x squared plus 9, you were partly correct. Here's the x squared, and there's the 9. But what's missing in your answer if you didn't think of it fully? Yeah, someone said it. 2 3x's, which add up to be 6x plus 9. All right, here's my answer. That's your answer. Okay? You guys get that? This means that, and that gets you this final answer. Let's do it again. 3x minus 5 squared. What does that mean in multiplication? It means 3x minus 5 times 3x minus 5. And go ahead and figure that out, whatever that is. So, yes, sir?
Is there a way you just do it? Yes, Miss K taught us.
Yes, we're going to go through that.
It's like multiply the first one by itself, multiply the second one by itself, and then multiply together.
Yeah, we're going to get to that, but we need to know why we do that. So we're going to figure out why. And yes, we're going to get to that shortcut. Stole my thunder, though. Damn. Okay, let's go ahead and figure this out.
Yeah.
Okay, what's 3x times 3x? 9x squared. Great. And then what are the outer terms going to get me, Rachel? Negative 15x. What are the inner terms going to get me, Jensen? Negative 15x again. We have it twice. And then what are the last terms going to get me, Matt? Positive 25. Good. And make sure you get the signs right, because if you don't, you get a different answer. What would my final answer be?
9.
Marissa?
9x squared minus 30x plus 25.
Okay, let's look at something here. What's 3x times 3x? 9x squared. What's negative 5 times negative 5? Positive 25. Do you notice that when we do FOIL and our O and our I, don't we get the same thing with the O and with the I? So it's almost like we get the same thing twice. That's good to know. Ma'am?
Couldn't you, to get the negative 30, you could just do negative 5 times 3 squared?
Negative
Well,
5.
that
Oh, sorry.
15 times 15. No, that wouldn't be right.
You're
I was thinking negative 15 squared, but that would be bad.
not negative 15 squared, but negative 15 times 2.
Yeah.
Right? Because what's negative 15 times 2? Negative 30. And then the x goes there. Okay, go ahead and do this one more time. I just want to make sure you guys are good with it. Because there is a shortcut. And I like shortcuts because they make them shorter. But if I don't understand why you do the shortcut, then you get the shortcut when you get to a new problem that's similar. You're like, I don't know what's going on. So please make sure you get this one down. You can use FOIL. and then I want someone to explain to me what we could do to make this easier. So you got to explain it to me, not just tell me this is what you do. Explain why you could do what you are telling me I might be able to do. Okay, let me just go the long way, and then someone can give me the shortcut after that. What's 2n minus 1 squared mean? 2n minus 1 times 2n minus 1. Okay, so that's what it means. You need to know that because that's what it means. Okay, so FOIL, Murphy, what do the first terms get me? 4n squared. Yeah, because 2n times 2n, that's right. Davis, what do the outer terms get me?
Outer terms get you -2n.
-2n. John, the inner terms?
-2n.
-2n. And the last terms? Betsy?
1.
Yep, +1. Okay, I got my 4n squared, and I got my +1. And what are these O and I terms going to get me? -4n. That's the answer. Okay, someone explain the shortcut. Don't just tell me, you just do this, do just that. But why do you do this and this and that? Okay, Jetson.
2n times itself
Okay, 2n times itself.
equals 4n.
Squared, all right.
They do 2n times -1.
Okay,
You do that-
2n times -1.
You do that twice, and then you get -4n.
Okay, so you did it once, you got -2n. If you do it twice, you get -2n. And then what do you do with those -2n's? Add them, and you get your -4n. And then
You do -1 times
-1 times -1 equals +1. Why is that allowed? I get this. By the way, I get this and I get that. That makes sense. But how do I? What, John?
Because you're like going through the steps of FOIL,
Mhm.
and then when it's multiplied by itself, you can do this because it's like you're multiplying it by itself, and so the outer terms and the
There you
inner
go.
terms.
The O and the I are always going to be the same. So you get two of the same. What do you do with one of them? Multiply it by 2. So what's the O going to be? -2n. What's double -2n? -4n. That's how you get it. All right. I want you to use a shortcut. I don't want FOIL. I don't want FOIL being used here. Now, if you're at home and you're doing homework or you're on your test, no one's helping you, and you're like, oh, I forgot that shortcut. What can you do?
FOIL.
You could still do FOIL, so it's okay. But if you want to use a shortcut, you may. Just be careful. Okay, I'll give you some time to do it, and then I'll ask. Sorry? You want to try it? Okay, how about this?
No,
I'm gonna give you the work. I'm gonna give you what you're doing. Okay, let's go with Murphy. What's 7x times 7x?
7x times 7x.
Mhm.
Or 49 squared.
49x squared. Mm-hmm.
Or that for
Yep, I know what you meant. I'm interpreting here. Betsy, what's 5y times 5y?
25y squared.
25y squared. Mm-hmm. Okay, I get the first term and I get the last term. That one I hope you guys can get. The middle term might be a little tricky, but how do you get that middle term without FOIL?
Do you add
You
the
do.
two,
So you multiply these two,
multiply the two,
and then you do what with that number? Double it. So what's 7x times 5y? 35xy. What's double that? 70xy.
x squared.
No, because you just added like terms, so you didn't combine any. Yeah, that. Okay, sorry. And you guys will get better as you keep practicing, but that's what we're doing today. Okay, try it again. Right here. Just use the shortcut. Yes, sir. So products refers to the answer to a multiplication problem. What's special is that you don't have to use FOIL. You just put the answer down. But then this lesson is not just called, if you look at your book, it's called Special Products and Factoring. And tomorrow we're going to do the factoring part. I like the factoring of these squares.
This is game show, so like this.
This thing right here?
Yeah. She asked me. Why are you
The other guys, it's funny because the other guys didn't bring this up. I don't get it. Okay, yes, that makes sense. Yeah, so there a lot of these problems have shortcuts. Even yesterday's lesson had shortcuts. But we need to get to that.
To get the middle terms, you just do d times 8.
And double that. Oh, okay. Do you have a question or the answer? Question.
I always go blank.
That's okay. You remind me of my son Ezra. Because he says, Daddy, I have a question, Daddy. Or I'm talking to somebody, he's like, Daddy. I'm like, Ezra, you have to say, excuse me. All right, yes, Ezra. Okay, Ezra, if you don't have... That's okay. And it may pop up, but maybe not. Okay, Murphy, you said you had an answer. You had an answer, go ahead.
D squared plus 64d.
Okay, you got the d squared plus
16d.
16d.
Good. 8 times. Yeah, you do 8 times 8 times 3. Not 3 by 12. So you do 8 times 8 times 3.
The dryer lint here got it right. I'm sorry. Edit, cut this part. Minute 10 to 11, you delete it. No, yeah, that's fine.
Dryer wizard.
Begin. On that note, in your honor. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say you look like, or no, I'm not. Yeah, you do look. It looks like it's warm there. Yeah.
That was very impressive, Mr.
How's that a
Okay, Swivel. We're gonna pause here.